Hannah, you have to do this. My mother's voice was shaking so badly I could hear her struggling to breathe on the other end of the phone. She's your sister. You're the only match. I leaned against the kitchen counter, my phone pressed to my ear, staring at the blank wall in front of me. The late afternoon light spilled across the floor, warm and quiet, completely at odds with what she was asking. I closed my eyes. She stopped being my sister the day she stole my work and got me fired, I said slowly. This is life or death, Mom. So was my career, I replied. So was my reputation. So was everything I worked for. There was a long, heavy silence. No arguing, no comforting words, just the sound of her breathing, sharp and uneven. Then the line went dead. I stayed there long after the call ended, staring at my phone like it might ring again and change everything. It didn't, and in that quiet, a question settled deep in my chest, one I never imagined I'd have to answer. How do you save someone who destroyed you? My name is Hannah Lewis. I'm 28 years old. I'm a graphic designer, or at least I was. I didn't come from money or connections. I didn't have a safety net. I worked my way up from nothing. Community college classes I paid for myself, freelance gigs done in noisy coffee shops, late nights hunched over a laptop refining designs no one asked for yet. Every step forward was earned. I was never the flashy one in my family. That was Vanessa, my stepsister. She walked into a room and instantly became the center of it. People laughed louder around her, leaned in closer, remembered her name. She was charming, outgoing, and effortlessly loved. I was the steady one, the quiet one, the one who showed up, paid her own tuition, and never asked for help. I wasn't jealous of Vanessa, not really. I believed we just had different strengths. She had people skills, I had discipline. I had talent she couldn't fake, and apparently that was the one thing she wanted most. 6 months before that phone call, I was standing at the edge of my dream. I worked at a mid-sized marketing agency in Seattle, where I'd spent 3 years climbing the ladder, from junior designer to senior, then lead. My boss had already told me the promotion was mine, creative director. All I had to do was nail one final pitch. A major client, national campaign, big budget. The kind of opportunity people wait their whole careers for. I lived inside that project. Weeks of planning, dozens of drafts. Every color choice, every typeface, every detail mattered. It wasn't just a pitch, it was my future. Then Vanessa called. She sounded hesitant, almost unsure of herself. "Hey, can I pick your brain about design stuff?" she asked. "I'm thinking of switching careers." I was surprised, but flattered. She'd never taken interest in my work before. I invited her over, walked her through my portfolio, explained my process, even showed her some early concepts I was developing. She listened carefully, asked thoughtful questions, told me how talented I was. I thought we were finally connecting. I didn't realize I was handing her the knife. The day of the pitch, I walked into the conference room confident, but something was wrong. The client's expression was cold. Before I could even begin, he slid a tablet across the table. "We've already seen this work. Are you seriously trying to plagiarize?" My heart dropped into my stomach. On the screen were my designs, my exact concepts, credited to Vanessa. The timestamps showed they'd been submitted 2 weeks earlier. She'd pitched them to a rival firm first, rebranded them just enough to look original, and filed everything before I had any chance. I tried to explain. I begged them to check my files, the metadata, the drafts on my computer. But it didn't matter. The other firm had filed first. HR was called. By the end of the day, I was escorted out of the building with a box of my belongings while my coworkers watched in stunned silence. I couldn't breathe. Later, the truth unraveled. Vanessa's boyfriend worked in the same building as the rival firm. He'd helped her plan everything: introductions, access, timing. Within a week, Vanessa was hired, using my stolen portfolio as proof of her talent. When I told my parents, they brushed it off.
Don't drag Vanessa down because you're upset, my mom said. It's probably just a misunderstanding. They didn't want the truth. The truth was inconvenient. After that, my life fell apart quietly. I applied for jobs nonstop. At first, I got interest, phone screens, follow-ups, then silence. Every opportunity died after the first interview. Finally, a recruiter I trusted called me privately. "Hannah, there are rumors," she said gently. "Plagiarism. People are afraid to take the risk." Vanessa hadn't just stolen my work, she'd destroyed my reputation. 6 months later, my mom posted photos on Facebook. Family dinner, champagne glasses raised, smiling faces. The caption read, "So proud of Vanessa's big promotion." In one photo, Vanessa held a framed print, one of my designs. I hadn't even been invited. When I asked why, my mom replied hours later, "We didn't want it to be awkward for Vanessa." Then my dad called asking me to repay the $5,000 they'd given me for school, money they'd called a gift. Vanessa has medical expenses. Family helps family. I was barely surviving on freelance work. When I said no, he called me selfish and hung up. That was the moment I stopped doubting myself. I hadn't deleted anything. Every original file, every timestamp, emails where Vanessa asked for inspiration, screenshots of her portfolio before and after the theft. I wasn't erasing my past, I was preserving the truth. I reached out to Sarah, an old college friend who was now an employment attorney. She reviewed everything and said, "You have a strong case, but it will get ugly." I wasn't ready, yet. Then Vanessa was diagnosed with leukemia. She needed a bone marrow transplant, fast. I was tested. I was the only match. My parents begged. Vanessa texted like it was a given. No apology, no regret, just expectation. That's when I called Sarah again. "I'm ready." We met at my parents' house. They thought it was about the donation. I laid out the evidence instead. Files, timelines, emails, witness statements. The truth covered the table. Vanessa finally broke. She admitted everything. The jealousy, the theft, the damage she never thought would go that far. I made my terms clear. Public confession, legal settlement, my name cleared. She agreed. I donated the marrow. The procedure was painful, the recovery slow, but I did it. Not because they deserved it, but because I could live with myself afterward. My career recovered. My name was restored. I set boundaries that never wavered again. I saved her life, but I couldn't save what we had. And for the first time, I understood forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and family doesn't mean a free pass.